Go ahead, Michael, and share with us what kind of responses you've been getting from sending video.
Well, I did not meet my quota, which or my goal, which was 50, but I did get to 27. And I have to tell you, out of 27, I have like 17 or 18 responses. And that includes people who actually I've already had the real conversation about it. Because I had 2 or 3 people that responded yesterday, and for some of the ones I sent yesterday, and said, "Oh wow, I want to hear about this. Can I call you right now?" And my neurosurgeon who operated on me a few years ago, I found out through Facebook is the on the board of directors of God's Love We Deliver. So I sent him a video message, and we keep in touch through Facebook, but I would hardly call us friends. And he sent me back a message. "I'd love to hear about it. I'm free tomorrow after 3. What's the number I can call you at?"
I'm so glad you bring this up because, we're all growing and learning as we go. And it dawned on me guys, I got to tell you, I never would have just ordered this book. This is Russell Brunson from ClickFunnels. Expert Secrets. I never would have just randomly ordered this, but my mentor, Forbes Riley, suggested it, and I cannot put it down. I was up until ungodly hours for me, reading and doing some of the assignments in here. And one of the things he talks about is something that I know and that you guys know, and you've all heard this before, but I didn't share it in how we are reaching out to people. So let me digress and share. Haven't we all heard people buy on emotion and they justify with logic? Yes or no? Does that make sense? Anna, have you heard that too? People buy on emotion and they justify with logic. So in my trainings for years, my example has been my cars. I buy my cars completely on emotion, and then I justify them with logic to everyone, starting with the Mustang. That 64.5 Mustang, when I pulled up, the grill on it, the chrome grill, literally was grinning. Like it was smiling at me. It wanted to go home with me. Like I was in love with that car. It could have, I could have paid 20 grand for it and then found out there wasn't an engine under the hood and I would have figured it out. Like that's how much I wanted it. But then after I bought it, and everybody in my office made fun of me relentlessly. Ford, found on road dead. Don't you know what a money pit that is? Boy, that was a dumb investment. But that car, and so then I was justifying it with logic. You don't understand. Everyone from 6 years old to 60 turns their head when that car goes by, and I'm going to have my name all over it. And I'm going to have it in car shows and parades and CammieBaker.com and Remax. And by God, that's exactly what I did with it. But I was justifying it to everyone around me with logical reasons why it was a good decision. And I bring this up because when we're talking about whether we're sending a message or we're on the phone and we say, hey, let me tell you this story about a realtor who gave a check for over $100,000 and there was no fundraiser and it went to a nonprofit just like yours. The reason that that's a great way to start a conversation is because people buy on emotion and they justify with logic. So when we get excited about something, and we start, he calls it techno babble. We learn so much about it that we start to verbally vomit, techno babble all over people about how there's no capital gains tax, and you can grow your endowment by 5 times the amount without getting other donors, and blah, 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 right? We're verbally vomiting on them. So I really wanted to make this point that when we're talking about that way of approaching people, and Michael, you just brought it right home, that, your neurosurgeon, if you had sent him a message, hi, I see that you are the president of the board of such and such nonprofit. Did you know that you could grow your endowment by blah, blah, blah? Selling, logic. If we don't get them emotionally involved, they don't care and they're not going to listen. And I've learned this as a speaker too. There's a system called, or a thought process, a concept, heart, head, hands. Heart, head, hands. And I'm going to start leveraging this in our training. It's very important because we all go to the head. We're going to show them how smart we are. We're going to show them that we know exactly what we're talking about. And we get real heady with people. But you guys have all been there. I know it. You're talking to someone and you can see they've completely glazed over. They've completely checked out. They're barely tolerating your mouth moving. And you just can't stop. Has anybody ever been there? We've all been there. So my point is, before we can go to the head, we got to go to the heart. Because if in the heart, we simply say, hey, John, I know you're a real estate agent. And I just heard this story about an agent that gave this check for over $100,000 and he got paid a full commission to do it. We need to talk about this. Emotionally, now he wants to hear about it. So his heart is engaged. Now you can talk about why it is that he got to. So heart, head, hands, the hands analogy of it, if you're a speaker, or, you know, the hands might be that when you reach out your hand, they're now willing to grab your hand and go with you on the journey. Or you reach out your hand and they put a credit card in it because now they're willing to hire you as their coach. Or you reach out your hands with more information and their hands are open to receive it. So think about the heart, head, hands as why we start the conversations that way. And Danielle is on with us today because, as you know, she is our copywriter, and I've been talking to her about one of the emails to create for you guys of the 4 that you're getting for this first 30 days that she's creating stuff is around this video and how we can leverage it with the people that we already know. And maybe I can get her to have one of the other 4 emails be the actual press release that we are using. And when we are having people hear us from the heart, then their head cares how much we know about it. That's why in the interviews that I've already done with Lene and with Anna and with Daryl, we started out with, why are you wanting to be a charitable real estate specialist? Who are the nonprofits that you love? Before we even talk about what marketplace that they are in. So as we're doing the videos, I'm going to share with you, and I'll send this to you guys as well. But I want to share the information about the press release because here's some things that we need to start as Danielle is creating the email to introduce you with this video to your tribe. And as all of you are getting your videos done, because this is a new process and a new step for all of us, here are some things that you can be getting done in the background while you're waiting for the press release and the email. So we're going to start creating a list. If you have an assistant, that's even better. If this is all on you, you got to do it. But actually, this is a good time to start thinking about getting an assistant, even if it's one in the Philippines at $7 an hour. But start thinking about creating a list of who are in your local 25-mile radius. And I'll send this to you. Who are the TV stations? Who are the radio stations? The newspapers. I had my assistant a couple of years ago pull all of this up in the New England area, in the Massachusetts area, and I could provide it to you, but actually I want you to learn how to fish for yourself. If you give a man a fish, he eats for the day, but if you teach him how to fish, they eat for a lifetime. So just notice all these, and we're going to talk about the mindset of us, but the newspapers, we all have those, the big Boston Globe, but then we have the little rag newspapers that are in every community. For the senior citizens have their own little newspapers. Or like here in Manchester, there's this magazine, or it's made out of newspaper. It's called The Hippo. And The Hippo is just in Manchester. And it's all the hip happenings and all the not just what bands are playing, but different things that are going on in the area. When I was down in Panama City Beach, we had the Beach Bowl. Everybody has a version of that. And also be thinking of the local celebrities. Like, there are so many different ways of being seen and heard. There's someone in your local marketplace that is on YouTube and has a channel, or LinkedIn, or does Facebook Lives. Someone that is in your kind of industry that you could actually reach out to, including like, investor groups. There is an investor in every stinking marketplace that is doing Facebook Lives and YouTubes. So we can start Googling and looking for these people. Nationally, look at all the podcasts and things that you can get interviewed on. And normally, my friends, as a real estate specialist, just a good old fashioned realtor, none of them would really give two shits about interviewing you. Not really. I mean, you might have given a check for $2,500 at a fundraiser. I used to get interviewed for things. I've been so creative in getting interviewed. I did a transaction where a mobile home, this was 17 years ago, there was this mobile home loan program where people could get 100% financing to move. Like, it was for really people that were really downtrodden, and they could get this loan program. And we had the governor of the state come out and be with us when we handed the keys to the woman who was moving in with her children, the single mom moving in the mobile home from this 100% financing thing. And I've got a picture with me and the other agent and the mayor, or excuse me, the governor. So those kind of things they would interview you about or be excited about. But typically agents don't think about that. But see, now you have a specialty that they give a shit about. They will want to know, wait a minute, are you saying there's 5,500 nonprofits in the Las Vegas area and every single one of them can get these kinds of checks? Yes, Bob, that's exactly what I'm saying. So when you're looking up these lists, get excited about it. Where do you want to be seen? Who do you want to do business with? Why are you becoming, if you were doing this to really help the nonprofits, we can't hide with our video turned off when we're on Zooms and stuff. So when you get these lists, get the email and the phone number and the name of the publisher or the community interest person or the newsroom. They all have different titles, but start putting together a spreadsheet of all these. Be thinking about, who do you currently advertise with? If you are advertising with the newspaper or the local real estate magazine that we've all wasted thousands of dollars putting ads in, or, who are the sponsors? Who are the mortgage companies, the title companies that when you call them, they'll provide Panera's lunch at your broker open house? Like, they're begging to take you to lunch to win your business, and they are willing to sponsor and give a $50 gift card when you have an open house or whatever. Be thinking of these people. They are begging you on a daily basis to come do business with them. Let's flip the script. But we're not begging them to do business with us. We are informing and educating and enlightening them that there is this niche that they are not aware of, guaranteed, that they can help you to promote, because frankly, it makes them look good. What groups do you belong to? Social media, locally, nationally. So, like, personally, I found a system a few years ago that would go out and find groups. If I said I wanted entrepreneur groups or women's groups or real estate focused groups, it would go find the groups and it would send a request to join on my behalf. Thousands at a time it would send this out to. So I literally belong to like 700 groups. Half of them are entrepreneur, half of them are real estate, and I've updated it and all that. My point is, who are these groups that you belong to? Because the video that we're doing together, you can share. Now, I'm not saying you're going to blast this obnoxious video all over the place. There's nuances. Some of them you might know the leader of the group, and they may want you to promote it. Guys, This is a PSA, public service announcement. You have to think of it that way. PSA, public service announcement. You are letting people know that there is a new game in town and you're the one that plays it. There is funding, not fundraising. There's a specialty they've never heard of, and all of their nonprofits can benefit from that. So let's open this up a little bit. I want to hear your concept of this, because as we do the 7 P's, presence comes before positioning. And right now, we're talking about some major ass positioning going on in the marketplace. Because remember, we go through the P's one way, then we reverse engineer it. If we're wanting those payoffs, we need to promote. And the best way to promote is to get partners. So it's not just me promoting myself, but the only way to get partners is to be positioned so that they want to partner with you. And when you are positioned as being seen in the newspaper and local media, you are letting, sharing in your email, holy cow, I just got interviewed. So I want to start hearing a little bit about your mindset around that. Anna and I just did her interview this morning, and I just want everybody to acknowledge she fixed her lighting. And even though it's not the ring, and even though she doesn't have her background set up yet, doesn't she look much brighter and much more present and engaged now? Yes or no? Yeah. So Anna, you look great. Talk to me a little bit about, when I talk about the video that we just did, this beautiful interview that shows your heart and why you want to help your churches and your seniors. How does it feel to you when I talk about doing a press release and sending this in an email to everyone you know? Unmute yourself, honey.
That is a great thing. I don't have to do it. I mean, it's already there, and that will be great. I mean, and there's only a newspaper here. I used to be. I'm not. The people that publish it are not from here.
Well, the logistics of how we send it out, that's another conversation. I just want to make sure that your presence, your energy, your intention, does this excite you or scare the crap out of you? Because it can go one of two ways. And I just want to help you through whichever way. Because if you're excited, you'll find emails.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes, I am.
And so Anna sent me a couple of days ago after our last class, she sent me a long email with 12 people and a paragraph about each one of how she knows them or doesn't know them, but why she wants to contact them. And so when we talk about emotion sells, and then we justify it with logic, instead of sending a long email with all the statistics and why this is great for them and sell, how they can do this, when Danielle creates a beautiful, simple email that gives us a platform to present our video, now when they click on that video, they're going to see you being interviewed. They're going to see your heart. So we are selling them on emotion. And then you can follow it up and justify it with logic in other ways. So all those people that you're like, Cammie, how do I reach out to this one? How do I reach out to that one? Before we get the 3-minute videos that I'm going to be creating for everybody to share for their nonprofit and their realtor friends and their property donors, see, those videos that I create for you to share with people are going to be a lot more around the logistics. Like, okay, Michael's telling me that as a property donor, I get benefits, but what benefits are they? They click on my video and I say, hey, if you're watching this video, you must be in contact with one of our real agents of change. And this particular video is for property donors. So let me share with you some of the facts about why this is a good option for you. So I'll be talking about the logistics, but before we send that video, they need to have already bought in with the emotion. Do I have your buy-in on what I'm talking about here?
Absolutely.
I see you nodding your head. I know you understand this, especially from network marketing. You know, network marketing, good, bad, or indifferent, what a great way to learn about human interaction and psychology. Yes or no, Michael?
Absolutely. Absolutely, yes.
And
Particularly if
now,
you know me from network marketing.
and now we get to use our knowledge, our experience of all that here. But instead of manipulating that information that we know, so we can stick something in there and rape and pillage and get them to buy something they don't want, we're going to use that knowledge that we have to simply show up, inform, know that emotion sells, and we back it up with logic to justify. So we start with that emotion. So Anna, instead of being worried about sending this long email showing how smart you are and all the statistics and blah, 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 you start with that video, show them emotion. And Danielle will write in there somehow, when you've seen my video and you see how important this is for our community and how committed I am to helping to fund this community by the millions, reach out to me and let's have a conversation.
Yes.
I'm glad to see that you're excited because I didn't know if you would be or not. Not everybody will be, but thank you for playing. Lene, let's have a chitty chat, my friend.
Okay, well, I'm on day 3 of no showers because of no hot water.
I smell you from here.
Thank God for Zoom. Yeah, they're coming today at 10 o'clock to put it in, a new one.
Her hot water heater broke.
But it didn't flood the garage like they normally do. It just, the whole unit that runs the clicker that turns on the gas went out.
So how do you feel about what we're talking about here?
I love what we're talking about. And so once I can get my head back into the game here, I started a list of all the nonprofits that we're working with. And then Carl and I are going to a tournament in the end of this month. So I'm going to try to get in front of them and get this video to that guy that runs it. And I've already volunteered to be part of the event. So hopefully that might get me some recognition when we get in there, that, you know, they'll listen and hear. And he's also a financial advisor. So obviously he might have people who need to donate and get rid of property. So before the end of the year.
All right,
so
guys. Hey, Anna said that earlier, and you just said, I'm going to stop you every time. We are not looking for people who want to get rid of something. I know what you mean, but when we come at it from that perspective, if I don't stop us now, you're going to be out in the marketplace and you're going to be talking to someone about how you're looking for someone who wants to get rid of something. Ladies and gentlemen, we do not want crap, contaminated shit property that someone's trying to unload on us.
Okay, so we want to donate.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, we're looking for people who want to make a contribution to the world. We're looking for people who want to donate property. Just want us to not be using that language because it brings a negative connotation. And when you are showing up as Lene fucking Forbes of Forbes Realty, and you are representing the charitable real estate as a specialist, you don't want in your language to say, get rid of property. You want to own that we are looking for generous, high net worth property owners who love the community and love the nonprofits that they want to support. Now, we're also looking for people that are business savvy, understand tax law, want to have a really nice tax deduction based on their generosity. I got on a little bit of a soapbox about that, but I'm very passionate that we use the right language.
Oh, no, I agree.
People are constantly, okay, so I'm sorry, so go
ahead.
It's
changing our mindset. You're right. We're going from salesperson to a new philosophy, if you want to call it that. It's a new thought process, and we have to stop and think a little bit more to begin with. It's I think the best example is when my in-laws moved from one neighborhood to another. And for the first few times I went over to their neighborhood, I kept turning the wrong way because it was habit. So yeah, just breaking the old habits and recognizing them. So thank you.
Yeah, good. And you know, right now our group is small because we are just getting started, but I promise you within 6 months, there's going to be 1,000. And within a year, there's going to be 5,000 that are coming to these calls and getting trained. This is charitable real estate. This is making money, making a difference at the same time. It's going to get bigger. But my point is, while we're still small, while you still got me, I'll jump on and do a quick 3-minute video with you. So, you know, right now when we do these interviews, I'm doing them on my YouTube channel. Look, I'm not crazy. I'm a spider. I'm creating my web. I want all that I want to come to me too. And as you guys are sharing these videos, you are more than welcome to go into my YouTube channel, pull the video, put it up on your own YouTube and put your own descriptions and all that stuff. I've done it when I was on the Happiness Jungle as the co-host. All my videos are on the Happiness Jungle YouTube channel, but I had my assistant pull all of them to put them on my YouTube channel. So I was sharing my own channel. So you guys can certainly do that, but I'm hosting them because I want the notoriety too. But my point is, when you're going to an event like that, or Michael, you're getting ready to go to you know, some kind of a conference, or Anna, you're getting ready to talk to a specific nonprofit, feel free to reach out to me and let's do a quick 3-minute video together on your YouTube channel. Cause I don't, you know, when I do it now, I've got to download it. Now I've got to send it to you and it's a little bit more work and I don't mind doing that. But for these quick little things, reach out 3 minutes. You tell me, okay, Cammie, I'm going to meet Make-A-Wish, or I want to reach specifically out to Make-A-Wish. I know that the person in charge is Bob Smith, and I'd love to make a personal video, and I'd like your help creating credibility. And I'm quick. We can get on in 3 minutes. I can say something like, hey, Bob Smith, Michael DeShavi and I are here together talking about how much real estate can put hundreds of millions of dollars in your pocket to help those kids. We just wanted to come together and share a couple of facts with you, blah, blah. And that way, Michael, you still got to sell them on the emotion. And I say sell specifically because they do need to buy in with emotion, but that's a 10-second story or 2-line text. Once they emotionally are bought in, now you can share our video because we're going to talk a little bit about logic. Does that make sense, guys?
Definitely.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to share screen and I want to show you that these are the first 3 videos that I've done. Anna, I don't know why our thumbnail isn't coming up, but we will get that fixed. The reason why I'm sharing this with you, I just did these videos yesterday with Lene and with Daryl, and then today with Anna. And look, Lene already has 6 views of it, and Daryl already has 23. I was dumbfounded when I saw 23 people in less than 24 hours, because when I sent him his video, he was like, oh, this is great. I'll use this all the time. So the way that we're doing these videos, leading with emotion, leading with why you want to be a real agent of change, why you want to be a charitable real estate specialist, then this can be a way to start a conversation. Anna, you can take this video clip, the little link, and you can send it in a little text. You can say, hey, Mary at the church, I just did this video and mentioned you in it. I'd love for you to watch it. In other words, this is a nice emotional hook, but I want to share. Let's see, I'll pull up Lene's. Notice that in the background, in the description, so when you guys hear me say, in the description, we're going to put your contact information and the nonprofit's contact information. In this description, I put a little something about what this is. It's the interview series with the Real Agents of Change. I talk a little bit about how it's a secret real estate niche that funds nonprofits by the billions. I talk a little bit more about that. You can certainly read more later, but in here, when I say property donors, they donate because they're generous. I put the playlist in here of the interviews that I did as the alliance with the property donors, the nonprofits that we have, that Realty Gift Fund has already given millions of dollars to, the realtors, et cetera. What I did right now, because this is quick and it was just an idea that we all just had within the last 48 hours, I'm just putting a link directly to all of those interviews. Once I dig myself out of the weeds and we are flowing and moving along and I've got more assistance and things, I'll have them pull little clips, and in here we'll put click here for this 3-minute, blah, blah. But right now it's the whole thing. Of course, the nonprofits benefit in many ways. Also, nonprofit interviews who have been benefited from the real estate donations. It's the same link as above because it's just going to all those testimonies that I already have. There's several hours of testimonies, but they can look through it. Look, guys, the video that you did with me may only be 5 minutes, but when people click on that video, they can see all this stuff too. So down here, I asked Lene to send me her contact information and the I need you to send me the information about your nonprofits too, Lene, so I can put it in here. And of course, I'm not dumb. I got my contact information in here too. But the reason that you want my contact information in here, and the reason that this is, I don't know how much you guys know about SEO and search engines and cross promoting and all that. But the fact is, when somebody is Googling Forbes Realty Group, there is a chance that my video is going to come up because they Googled it. When they Google Wounded Warriors, and that's your group that's in here, guess what? In that search, your video is going to come up. So imagine, if you will, I'm just using Wounded Warriors because it's easy to say. In your area, you love Wounded Warriors. They are the nonprofit that you want to benefit, et cetera, et cetera. Some random person is Googling Wounded Warriors because they want to make a $50 donation. And as they Google it, your video comes up. And now they're like, why'd this come up? They watch it, they find out that they can actually make a real estate donation, and they fucking call you. So I'm not saying this is going to happen today or this week or even this month, but this is how we start to create positioning for the partnering. And look, you can show this to the mortgage company that you're partnering with. You can show this to that nonprofit. That's why I said to you guys, let's name a couple nonprofits. Because when Anna said the exact name of 2 churches, 3 actually, 3 churches, and 3 of the ministers' names, she can use that video to send to them. Look, if that church, look, I'm going to be real honest, and I'm always going to be real honest, and Michael will tell you, Cammie's always going to call it the way she sees it. If that church gives 2 shits about people, if they really want to practice what they preach, if they literally practice what they preach, if they want to feed 1,000 people, and they know as well as I do, as well as you do, and as well as everybody else does, fundraising is broken. They are not bringing in tens of thousands of dollars a month to support themselves. They know they've got to do something different. They just don't know what it is. And you didn't either. And I didn't either until now. But Anna, when you said those people's name on video, when you can send them that video and say, Pastor, I care so much about the church. I was just interviewed, and of all the churches I could mention, I mentioned you. Here's the video. We need to talk. Anna, if you share like that and they ignore you and they don't want to talk to you, I don't know. I would reconsider how much they really do want to help the community and how much you might be bumping up against a brick wall trying to help them help themselves. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes.
And I'm not trying to get anybody to shift religion or go from a church they've been going to for 20 years and say F you and go to another church. I'm just saying that this is such a powerful way for you to put your arms out and embrace them. And if they don't embrace you back, at the very least, let's find a church or a veteran group or whoever, or in your case, an elderly group. Let's find somebody who does embrace us, who does say, ooh, that sounds awesome. Let's talk about that. Because when you can find people that will partner with you and work with you, and you look, we're getting ready to create a challenge. We're getting ready to create a challenge, and you guys are all part of the challenge for free as part of what we're doing together. The challenge is going to be, you know how ClickFunnels has you're only one funnel away. You're only one funnel away. You're only one funnel away from quitting your job. You're only one funnel away from making $1 million. You're only one funnel away from getting your product in the hands of the people whose lives it will save, et cetera, et cetera. Well, here, you're only one property donation away. You're only one property donation away from giving a huge check to your church. You're only one property donation away from being seen as the hero in your community. You're only one property donation away from leveraging that one property into 3, 10, 30, or 100 because of all the PR we can do around it. You're only one property donation away from putting a sign in the yard that gets massive media attention. So we're going to be doing that as a challenge, so that we can help everyone that comes into this program get that one property donation that they need, because you're all only one property donation away from getting the attention of the nonprofit that you love, whether they're the focus right now or not. When they start seeing on Facebook, you standing next to that sign, when they see you handing a check, etc. See, we have to have the big vision of, it may not be your favorite one right in the beginning, but we want you to work smarter instead of harder. And I want to open up for any comments or discussion about that.
You actually just gave me a lot to think about because well, like for example, as you know, my favorite charity is Make-A-Wish. But as you and I have also discovered together from even working together previously, they are impossible to deal with in terms of they're not receptive to ideas. And I've tried to do things in the past and it was just a lot of red tape. So I'm thinking that for our video, I'm going to mention 1 or 2 charities that are receptive. And one of them, you know, in line with Anna's passion, is a woman who's a very dear friend who runs a day center for people with Alzheimer's dementia, you know, and targeting, of course, seniors. And she's very passionate in anything that has to do with seniors. And she's someone who has reached out and said, wow, I want to hear about this. We have to talk about this. So she's someone who I'm going to mention in my video. Even though I love Make-A-Wish to no end, you know, I don't want to hit my head against the wall.
Amen. And to take that a step further, I know Frank Shankowitz, the guy who created Make-A-Wish.
Yes.
And what it was, maybe 4 years ago, you and I were working together. I met him at a conference and I thought, oh my God, Michael loves Make-A-Wish. I just met the founder, the creator, the guy whose idea this was, the one that they just made a movie about called Wishman.
Mm-hmm.
Wishman. I got a copy of his book signed by him, and I said to Frank, oh boy, Frank, I have a friend and client in New York City who's wanting to work with Make-A-Wish, and he's hitting a little bit of a brick wall getting on the phone with them. Could you help him to get started? And Frank said to me, Cammie, they won't even return my phone call. He said, I handed over the reins many years ago and they won't even talk to me. And I thought, oh, fuck shit. Make-A-Wish founder can't get Make-A-Wish on the phone. What chance does anybody else have? Now, they do lots of great things and they have multi-$100 million budget. And how they do that, I don't know. But my point is, sometimes the nonprofit that you love is not even going to return the phone call of the person that created it. And you are beating your head against the wall trying to get them to listen to you.
Yeah. And what you just said made me start to shift my thinking. Well, then again, you always have that effect on me.
Well, thank you for that, Michael, because I know I can ramble and go on a rampage. But just like how my mentors do that sometimes, and it makes me think differently. If it helps you guys shift from convincing, I'm going to convince them they need this. They just need to, Cammie, they're willing to hear from you. How would you like it if I said, you know, there's this $10 million listing in your town and they are going to talk to 28 agents and they're looking for the best, cheapest commission, and they're going to tell you exactly how to promote it, and you're going to compete with every agent, and you better know what color to wear and where to sit at the table and what their favorite sports team is, and they're willing to give you 10 minutes and you better make it good.
No, thanks.
Thank you, Michael. Okay, how can I support you all further? We are going to be back on here tomorrow. And I know that this conversation has started to shift some language. Michael and I are going to do a video tomorrow. You two ladies already have videos. Who are, and Danielle is going to create an email so you can blast it out to your list. But who are three, let's keep it simple. Who are three people that you know that you could send that video to? And let's talk about what the 1 or 2 little lines might be in your text or your email or however you reach out to them with that video, including you, Michael, because you're going to have your video tomorrow. Lene, who are 3 people that you could share that video with? Because now that you see it in a different way, this is positioning, this is credibility, this is an interview you did. And look, people only know what you tell them. They have no idea who I am. They have no idea if this is a big international. Think about all the people that have millions of followers and make multi-millions of dollars as gurus that you've never heard of. They don't know if I'm one of those people too, and I just interviewed you. So positioning is all in the posture of how you say it to people. So as far as they're concerned, you just got interviewed on NBC Nightly News. They don't know. So that's how you can position it. Who can you share it with, Lene?
Well, I'm going to be talking to a guy here in town who's running a foundation that's part of the injured police officers. So my fiance and I personally knew the guy that was running it who died of COVID. So they're doing this golf tournament thing. So I want to try to get in with them because that's actually pretty big. And that's a good thing to be in right now, especially with all the uproar over the police officers and the firefighters. So going in there, supporting that. It's funny that you say Make-A-Wish because my guy got to Make-A-Wish and they're actually part of the sponsor of the same event that we're going to be part of. So maybe I can find out who their contact is and share.
Well, and every area is different, right? Every Make-A-Wish has probably 500 independent little offices and groups, and you might have just a really wonderful person. We're just making a big point that sometimes trying to hang on doesn't even work with the owner. So,
Yeah. So yeah, I'm listening to, like I've told you a long time ago, sometimes it's just best to sit and listen and hear what everybody else has to say so that you can kind of get that mind frame changed again. Like we were talking about, get rid of versus donate, that kind of thing. So it is a bit of a learning process, but hey, I'm here. I put something up on my Facebook the other day, everybody's made the excuse it takes 21 days to change a bad habit. And I said, why are you waiting 21 days? That's a really good excuse not to get it done. Just get it done. So
right?
it's a new, reasoning, change is about what your mind frame is, because when a company comes in and takes over, they don't do it in 21 days. They do it from day one. And if you're not on board, you're gone. So it's like, if you're going to make that change, just do it. Just jump in and do it.
Absolutely. And you also mentioned that group in our interview. So
Yes, I did.
for you to send it over, what's his first name, just for conversation?
Phil.
Phil. Hey, Phil, I just got interviewed and I actually mentioned your organization. We've created a charitable real estate department at my company, and we're looking at seeing how we can give you guys a couple $100,000.
Okay. I like that. And I will do that today.
So notice how in there wasn't any big statistics or logic, or if I could show you how we could give you $200,000 for your event, is that something you'd want to listen to?
Yeah, we're done doing that. That's the salesperson. We want to, it's kind of like when I was doing a notary signing, I walked into one time a client and the rule is that they had 3 days to review the documents. And the lady goes, well, I'm going to review them today. And I said, well, I don't have time for that. So I started picking up all my stuff and putting it in my bag. And I was ready to walk out the door. And she's like, oh, no, I want that. I want that. And I said, then you have to follow the rules. And the rule is you get to read it on your time, not mine. I'm not being paid for you to read it. So sometimes it's about the takeaway as much as the give.
As a matter of fact, one of the things I wrote, I'm telling you guys, I love this book. Love, love, love. So just for the end of our conversation, I want to get your input on this, because in this book, they talk about creating a manifesto, meaning declaration of who you are and what you stand for. And for me, I've been, charitable real estate specialist is the label, the designation. But I feel like we are real agents of change. We are agents of change. The nonprofits that are visionary and open-minded to work with us are agents of change. The mortgage company that Lene gets to sponsor me speaking about charitable real estate, the one that gives me $5,000 to come in and train 100 agents on her behalf, et cetera, they are real agents of change. So, and it's funny, change agent, agent of change. I was Googling all that a few months ago when I was creating the Facebook group. There's already several groups that are agents of change. So I'm like, I've got to differentiate. So I put, we are real agents of change. And I kind of like that. I like it. We're grabbing the bull by the horns. We are saying we are real agents of change. Other people say they're agents of change, but we are real ones. And so I've been creating a bit of a manifesto around this. Manifesto, I'm just gonna ramble what I was taking the very first draft. A real agent of change takes a stand for those they are called forth to serve and support. They believe you can make excuses or you can make it happen, but you cannot do both. They are go-getters, do-getters, trailblazers, and visionaries who know that make money and make a difference go hand in hand. A real agent of change is open to new ideas, eager to take action, and boldly goes where others cannot even see. Others ask why, others ask why, they just do it. They serve versus sell, collaborate versus compete. They understand that giving and receiving is simultaneous. They are passionate, purposeful, playful, pragmatic, present, and positioned as partners who promote charitable real estate for the win-win-win that it is. I am a real agent of change, and I am just one property donation away. I share that because I want to see if that resonates with you guys, because you are my first real group. And this is something with tweaking and word fixing that I can print out on a really nice plaque, something that we could frame, something that we can put up in our office, something that we can read every day when life's not working the way that we want. What's your input on that? Anna, does that resonate with you? Do you feel like that's describing you?
Yes, yes. Yes. And to have a thing like that, like a plaque that says what I am, what I'm, my purpose, everything in there. And yeah, that's encouraging and
Good.
to me, and it grounds me. It says, I am who I am, and this is what I do. I serve these people, and I
You
don't,
serve, you don't sell, you collaborate, you don't compete.
and partners. Yeah,
Yeah.
and partner.
I'll continue to tweak it and I'll share it with you guys and get your input. If there's a line that, like Lene, I'm sure there's some kind of really hardcore, impactful line that you're already thinking of. And I want your input. Anna, same for you. Michael, you and I have been on a path of spiritual self-development for 15 years together. Let me know what your line is that you want to add to it, because I guarantee whatever it is you're thinking, that's me too. That's why we're here, is because we are real agents of change. And Anna, to your point, it grounds you, makes you feel like part of a tribe. And that's what Russell Brunson talks about. You know, people will come in because what you're doing is interesting, but they won't stay unless they feel like it's a community, like they are part of something. He was talking about how he did one of the funnel, because so we are real agents of change. His people are funnel hackers. And there's this other woman that is in ClickFunnels who has a fitness group that was long and boring. And it was her last name, Fitness, but she changed it to Lady Boss. We are lady bosses. And she created a manifesto, and hundreds of people on a daily basis come into her group because they're lady bosses and they resonate with that. And the other thing that is being created is, he said how the manifesto is long and it's going to be wordy, but create something that you can even put as a screensaver on your phone that's right there, or something that you can save in your phone that's easy. So for example, I am a real agent of change. I am influential. I have impact. I inspire, am inspired, and I am inspiring. I double profitability through philanthropy. I am confident, communicate clearly, and my steps are certain. I am a real agent of change. So something like that, that's simple, that can be right on the screen of your phone. I'll type these up and send them to you guys. Michael, do you have any input on that? He might be doing something else. He's got us off.
No. I'm here. I've been listening. No, I like the way you have it worded. I'm gonna go back and listen to recording because I'm sure I do have some input, but I need to hear it again to kind of let it sink in and see, what I might add, or what I might want to contribute to it, because I definitely resonate with what you said. And the part that's the most inspiring to me is about, going out there and taking action. Not sitting on the sidelines waiting for things to happen, and not going there and trying to figure out, what you need to say different, that's going to be different from the person who just left the house.
Right. We have a unique sales proposition. We stand out. Mm-hmm. We stand out, step up, and step into a new way of being seen.
Mm-hmm. And you know, it's funny, Kenny, when you were talking about belonging to a tribe, I was thinking back to network marketing days, to being in your living room. As a matter of fact, it was your birthday, I remember, and you were giving a training, and you were sitting on that red stool that you talk about in your book, and we were all on the couch, on the floor, everything else, and you were in this training.
Michael, you're breaking up.
Was really part of a tribe. This is in it all. Oh, no, I was going to say that, you know, the best part for me was that we were all there for the same reason. We were in your house, so we obviously all knew you. And it really did have that feeling of being a tribe. And this is going to be so much better than that was. And that was great.
Exactly. This is truly bringing all of the good from network marketing and leaving all of the icky out.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Well, I'll get this typed up as soon as possible and send to our core group. Please feel free to give input, because I'm creating it from how I feel and how I feel about the people that are here on this screen right now. And therefore, I would like to have your input, because I want you to feel like this is your tribe, and be thinking about, who are we wanting to attract into our tribe? Who are the other realtors? Not the icky salesy ones, not the, you know, there are people that could bring hundreds of agents in that are so money motivated. And believe me, I want to make $1 million a month too, but they are just so not giving two shits about the bigness of how many people this will help. And frankly, I'd rather build it 2 people at a time than 200 aggressive, pushy, sharky people at a time. So whether it's other realtors, whether it's the nonprofits that are open and embracing, all the people around you that are those sponsors and those mortgage and title, those people should be a part of this too, the ones that really get it. So it's 12 o'clock. I'm going to let you guys bang out. Please know that I'm here to support you in any which way. We're going to be back on tomorrow, and tomorrow we can play with this manifesto a little bit more as well. And let's think about tomorrow actually doing some role play. Not role play like Michael and I know from how to convince or sell people, but role play from a perspective of, let's get comfortable not selling people. Let's get comfortable evoking some emotion. And then when we do talk to them about logic, it's still not from a place of convincing. It's from a place of knowing what the fuck you're talking about, having complete confidence, knowing that this is the best thing that they could ever do for their nonprofit or for their property or whatever, and just holding that space of certainty and kind of inviting them to come in, and knowing that if they don't step in on their own, we need to just step to the next person.
Mhm. Can I read you an email that I sent to the guy that lives around here that has the shop? Can I read it to you for a second?
You can, and I'm going to leave it on record because there'll probably be some lessons in this. So go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so I put my subject as charitable real estate, and then I say, hi, have you heard about this? I am willing to tell you about it. We fund charitable organizations. How do we do it? It is what I want to talk to you about it. Can I talk to you on Thursday, 11, 19, 20 around 3 p.m.? If not, let me know when it's a good time. Email me or shoot me a message to my phone number, and thanks, your neighbor, Ana Melesio.
So when we talk about sharing a story, we're back to talking about how emotion, people take action on emotion. People buy on emotion and they justify with logic. Even when somebody hires you as their real estate agent, if you walk into a listing appointment and there were 5 other let me give you a story. I'm calling expireds several years ago. I go on this appointment that's an expired listing, and I was the last of 7 or 8. Like, This was their third time being expired off the market. And in their mind, they thought, well, this time we're going to interview one agent from every brand, Remax, Keller Williams, Century 21, Bob's Discount Realty, whatever. So they'd interviewed all these agents, and I had been one that had actually called them to set the appointment. So I'm sitting there with them. We'd gone through the CMA. They saw the comparables and the numbers, and they said, Cammie, we have interviewed every brand. You all have the same comparables. The numbers are the same. We like you, but we like everybody else too. Like, tell us the one thing that we have not heard that will get us to just hire you and sell this property and be done with it. So, quick thinking that I am, I thought, what have they not heard before? What would really actually be something that they have not done, that no other agent has offered to them, that would truly spin their head around and be like, whoa, that is different. And in that 3 seconds, I came up with this. I said, I'll tell you something that you've never heard from another agent that will guarantee this property to get sold. When you sign the contract at 7% commission, I'll just keep 3% like I was going to do anyway. But what we'll do together, we will pay the buyer's agent 4%. And when we put that on the listing sheet, when they see that instead of the 2% they normally get, or maybe 2.5%, or the rare 3%, when they see that they're getting 4%, they're getting twice as much as they normally would, they are going to push this house. They are going to sell it. They are going to partner with us. They are going to drag their buyer, because this property sits on a busy street. It's a kind of house that a family would want, but not on this busy street with semis going by. It's antiquated. The rooms are small and boxy. It's got this weird garage thing where the garage opens up and there's a hot tub out there, and it seems kind of cool, but it's really kind of weird. And like, what do you really do with that? And the typical buyers were passing it by. Busy street, no neighborhood, weird garage room. I said, when we offer 4%, the buyer's agents, when they're out showing other houses in comparable price range in that town, they're going to say, hey, Mary, did you see this one? And Mary's going to say, yeah, but that's a busy road. You know, we want to be in a neighborhood. And Mary's going to say, yeah, but did you see it's got 4-car garage? Did you see it's got X? In other words, when we pay them 4%, they're going to sell the shit out of this house. So Anna, they hired me not because I was the cheapest. They actually hired me at the highest commission because I evoked emotion in them. I was someone that they could really like, wow, she's creative. That makes sense. Yeah, that'll work. Holy crap. So my point is that I got in there with emotion, and I justified it with the logic, but the emotion was, we're going to get this house sold because these buyer's agents are going to work with us. They're not going to be our adversaries like normal buyer's agent, seller's agent. Got to get what my client wants. I got to get what my client wants. No, we're going to be kumbaya. Let's sit by the fire and have a beer together. We're going to work together. And once I explained that to them, then I justified it with some of the logical reasons. And I bring all this up, my love, because people don't know what charitable real estate is. They do not understand it. They don't know. And people don't want to immediately admit that they don't know something. So when you started out with charitable real estate, hey, have you ever heard of this? No, he hasn't. And to start a conversation where the answer is nope, we just shot ourselves in the foot right off the bat, number one. And number two, there's no emotion there. So if you're going to send a message, remember what we talk about. Typing is better than not doing anything. Voice is better than typing. Nothing beats face and sending a video. So if you really want to talk to someone and you send this, you send just enough to get them to do this. Because this, now they can hear your emotion. Now they can get engaged with you about why you're so passionate about this. So for the next person, and believe me, good for you. At least you're doing something. At least you're trying. And just like a baby that is starting to stand up and get its legs so that it can take its first step, you're standing up. Congratulations. You're trying. And let me tell you something. That's 95% of the battle, isn't it, Michael? 95% of the battle is fucking doing something. So good for you. And good for you for being vulnerable and open to share, knowing that I'm going to tell you what I really think. But the reason that I'm going to tell you is because I'm so passionate about you getting this and about you getting your first. When you get your first property donation listed, do you know how many people I'm going to celebrate you with? Do you know how proud I'm going to be and how Jim D'Amico is going to hear about it and your manager's going to hear about it and that whole company's going to know that Anna has a property donation that when it sells, $352,000 is going into her community. What are you doing for people? Oh, you love the puppies? You love the veterans? I don't see you doing anything. I see you sitting around complaining about how fundraisers don't work. Oh, well, let's go have a beer. So good for you. But do you see what I'm talking about?
Yes, because he's gonna say no. Uh-huh. But I'm not so familiar with him either, but I know I have to start with the story. Uh,
You have to start with a story. And Anna, you have to start with the people that you know. Because think about it. If it's someone you know and they send you if someone that you know, like you really know, if they were to send you a text message that said, oh my God, I need to talk to you, call me immediately, you would call that person because there's an emotional connection there. And it doesn't matter what they are talking about when they say, oh my God, I need to talk to you, call me immediately, you're calling them. If it's a random phone number of somebody that you've never met, you have no idea who it is, and they send you a message, hey, I've got a great idea we need to talk about. Let's get on the phone. Delete, delete, delete. So you got to start with the people that you know. And if it is someone that you don't know, but you know for a fact that they are the board of directors for the church, like it's somebody that is a decision maker, and you did look them up online and you're sending them a message because you know they do make decisions, then now we're back to sharing a story. Hey, Mr. Smith, I am philanthropic too. When I saw that you are the president of the board for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, we're going to beat that in the ground. I wanted to let you know that I just heard a story about a nonprofit just like yours that got a check for over $100,000. And I knew you'd want to hear about it. And just leave it at that. Let them respond. What do you mean? How does that work? I'd like to hear more.
okay.
Because now they are emotionally heart. Now you can share your head, what you know. And now that you share what you know, now you can hold hands with them to learn more, or offer them more information that they are open to receive. Think about that: heart, head, hands. How can I talk to this person from my heart so that they give a shit what's in my head, so that we can hold hands and make something happen?
Okay, yeah, it's a challenge. It's a challenge.
Well, let's talk about that. Thank you for the feedback. What do you mean that's a challenge?
To be open, um, um, and be sincere. It's, I mean, but yeah,
This is
Oh,
so good. I'm so proud of you. So you said this is a challenge. And when I said, what's a challenge? You said to be open and sincere. Anna, I don't think I've met anyone who's any more open and sincere than you.
thanks.
Confused, not clear, not sure what to say. Yeah. But open and sincere, 1000%. That's you. And to be open and sincere and engage emotionally with your heart with someone, even in a 2-sentence text, to get on the phone or to send an email or to introduce them to me. Now, once again, don't introduce people to me because you've convinced them, because you do that one time and I'll never offer it again. Now, we can make a mistake. We can think that someone's really, really excited and engaged and then get on the phone and find out they're really shitty and pissy and negative. That happens. But if you already know that they're not emotionally open and, oh boy, I mean, you got to know the difference between the two, you know?
Mhm.
So what we are doing is we are also putting together these videos that you can share, and also a time to be able to bring them onto a Zoom with me and or Bruce and or, you know, as people get much more confident with this. Michael DeShavi, for example, has been a teacher in the New York City school system, for God's sake. Like, he can handle any situation. He's an author. He's articulate. He gets a little tongue-tied, but overall, he's extremely articulate. And as Michael really wraps his head around this, he's going to be one of the trainers for us. And people like you will be able to, you know, jump on a Zoom. Maybe Michael has a Zoom on Mondays at 3 that he's sharing this, right? So for right now, just know that the video is a great way for you to engage with people. It shows credibility. You got interviewed. You're stepping up as the charitable real estate specialist. And when Danielle creates this email for you to send out and the press release, and whether I create it or whatever, you need to know people are going to start saying, hey, I saw your interview. How can my church get involved? And we're going to keep working with you on what that looks like. But let me tell you something. When you share that video and somebody on Facebook or email or text, oh my God, I'm the president of such and such nonprofit in Chelsea, in Chelmsford, in Boston. How do we participate in that? Get them on the phone with me. Okay, does that help?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, guys, I'll see you tomorrow at 11. We can, you know, sit with this, mull it over, think about it. And Anna, stop sending any messages unless you send them to me first and let me help you tweak it. Because that message that you sent, if you'd have sent it to me, you wouldn't have sent it and you wouldn't have kind of ruined the first impression. You can't go back now, it's too late.
Yeah.
But moving forward, the ministers and the people with these churches, send me what it is that you're planning to send them with the link to the video, because you actually named them. Let me help you tweak it before you send it. Nothing breaks my heart more than when I ask my clients to let me tweak something, and then a week later, they read what they've already sent and it's too late.
Okay.
So your video in the description, I need your contact information, your website, your email, your phone number. And I also need the website and whatever you want me to send to put in there about those churches. Let's get that done in the description and saved before you send it out. Okay.
Okay.
Just send me an email with
the information
with
and
what you want for your contact information and what we want to put for their contact information. So think about it. That video is going to go out into the world, including you sending it directly to the 3 people that you mentioned.
Mhm.
And when they get that video and they go to read through the description, we want people to see, oh, if you love such and such church, here's how you can get in touch with them. If you want me to put the address and the phone number, I'll do that. If you want just the website and the name of the church, that's fine too. We don't want to make it a paragraph, or just keep it simple. Just something I can copy and paste, pop in there, save it, and you can send it.
Okay, all right.
But
Well,
before you
that-
send it, let me tweak whatever you're sending.
Mhm. All right.
All
I
right,
will.
guys, I got to bang out. See you later. See you tomorrow at 11. Bye.
Yep.